So beginning of the year, went to Summer Nats, had the Land Cruiser there. I was there for Street Machine magazine. It was really good because I got to cruise around in the car all weekend. Had heaps of little kids pointing out the car to their dad going, hey Dad, check out the monster truck. And it's not really that big, but that is. Yeah, so I thought I had big tyres when I put 33s on my car. These are 66s, so a little bit bigger than what Sam Miles put on his Patrol not long ago. But just gonna find the bloke that drives one of these here. It's Hayden. Now, Hayden, how you going, man?
Not bad.
Start me here, what sort of engine is it, how much power is it?
This is a 540 big block Chevy. You got about 1,500 horsepower run on full methanol alcohol. So it's pretty cool. As I said, pushes about 1,500 horsepower out. Then it goes down to this 2-speed power glide here. So these are one of the best transmissions to run in these trucks, just because it's all hydraulic, it's quick and easy, especially in a truck like you virtually want gears straight away. So these are awesome for these trucks.
And they're pretty indestructible too.
Exactly, like there's only just some clutch stuff and they very rarely go on these trucks if they're built correctly. And then you go down to a drop box that you can actually change the gear ratio. Depends on the arena you're in, and as you said earlier, just to change the torque in the truck and the speed, depends on the arena you're in. Then it goes to virtually 2 drive lines into a four-wheel drive.
Bring us around the front and show me, the front diff. Yeah, wow, so that's a bit bigger than the diff in my drag car.
Definitely, 100%. So these diffs and the corners and everything actually come out of Manitou in the USA. So we ship them here in Australia. It's the only way we can actually use these things. These are Clark spindles, everything like that. So it makes it a lot easier to work, and especially the pressure and the carnage we put these trucks through. Like, you really need that force for the trucks.
And I see you got a tow bar here, so you can be putting the boat into the water from the front.
It'll be a lot easier for some people, especially with these tyres, because it'll float for you.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit bigger than Land Cruiser, and I like the fact that this is a panel van as well compared to mine over there.
That's exactly right. So the good thing about having this body, it's also watertight. So pretty much if it's out in the rain and all that, all our trucks, engines and everything are actually well looked after. They even go into a shed every time we go back to a show. But as what we said, with 24-inch shocks all the way around this truck, and it's all hydraulic shock pressure and everything. So it makes the ride so much comfier. Like, you would think these trucks are rough on the inside, but I don't know if you have kids, but imagine a kid just rocking you backwards and forwards in a lazy boy chair. That's exactly what these things are like.
Cool. Well, give us a look inside. You don't mind if I have a sit in there and
bring it on.
See what it looks like to steer?
Yeah, we're going to have to jump the other side, otherwise you're going to hit your head.
Yep. All right, so give me a rundown of what's going on here. It looks pretty simple.
It's very simple in these trucks.
What am I looking at apart from the steering wheel and pedals?
So you got, as normal, steering wheel, accelerator, pedal, brake. These things are full automatic, because if you could imagine driving this 5-ton machine, jumping like crazy, trying to verse your competitors and your teammates, you really want it as simple as you can, because it can get very confusing sometimes in these trucks. But on these things, like, you got your shifter, and this little switch here, lever, actually controls your rear steer. So that, not just your front steering, you can also control your rear separately.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And that's left and right, is it?
Left and right.
Yeah,
so obviously left goes left, right goes right. It works heaps better. Like, I'll be buggered without it if I didn't have it. Like, it's pretty impressive to have it once you get used to it. Easy to do donuts. So it's awesome to have in these trucks.
Wouldn't be a monster truck without a monster tacho.
Monster tacho, got to know what your speed is. So even though it gets pretty hectic in here, you always got to watch your oil pressure, your temperatures, because the last thing you want to do is go halfway through a show and blow the motor up. So all our guys, especially me, we all keep an eye on our temperatures and all that. Then you've got your simple switch panel here, so that controls your fans, your transmission fans, your rear steer, because they actually self-center by themselves. So you don't have to sit there and hopefully it gets in the center. You got your 2 levers, which is your power and your fuel. And then this box actually here is what we call a ROI system. So what happens, there's a couple of guys outside on the arena that have a radio that looks like a radio. And at any time, say for example, my truck is broken down or I'm on fire, they can shut me down straight away, and it's just a safety feature we have. Even in the helmets, we have communication, so we can talk to the people on the outside to make sure everything's going well.
And you mentioned oil pressure as well, because I had a little oil pressure incident not too long ago with my car. And I noticed here, now there's a shift light, on top of the oil pressure gauge.
Yes.
Is that an oil pressure light?
It is. So once it gets down to a certain amount of pressure, all our drivers shut the truck down. Doesn't matter where you are on the track, if you're in the pits, if you're halfway through doing a freestyle, once that oil pressure light comes on, you shut that truck straight down, because the last thing you need is to run it to the ground and you could create more damage to your motor.
And I guess the other thing too is that people don't realise, I mean, my background in stunt riding was always oil pressure and oil levels were important because you'd have the bike vertical and stuff like that.
Yes.
I mean, what do you guys do to combat in the oil systems the angles you put these things through?
So every show we do an oil change and as long as we keep an eye on our oil pressure gauge, we run the same oil pressure and the same oil throughout that whole show.
Yep.
But every show we change our oil, we take our oil filters out, we cut them, and we actually make sure there's material in them. Every probably 12 months to 2 years, depending on what truck it is and how many shows it's done, we actually pull the motor out and get it refreshing.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yes.
No, very cool, and you can tell it's definitely got hydraulic steering because that's not going anywhere.
You definitely can't move it now.
Oh, thanks for that, mate. So you're driving tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'll be driving here at Adelaide Showgrounds tomorrow night, so it's going to be an awesome action-packed night. So I'm keen as to get behind the wheel again.
And I mean, what do you think when you get behind the wheel? What's the plan of attack?
I never have a plan. To be honest, it's my happy place. Wherever I am, as long as I've got that acceleration happening, I'm flying through the air, I don't care what happens.
Nice, all right. Awesome, man.
No worries.
I'll go back and get in my big truck.
All right, enjoy that.
Bye.